Good morning, boys and girls. Today I have a question for you. Have you ever been told by a parent or an adult that you need to stay close to them? Maybe they've told you you have to wait for them. Stay here, wait for me. Or maybe they've even told you that you have to hold their hand and you can't let go. It's really important that you stay tight holding their hand for a certain period of time. And maybe you've noticed that the easiest of those three to do is actually holding their hand. Now you might think, oh, well, I'm free if I just have to, walk with them, or free if I just have to wait there, but because I can look around, I can do whatever I want, I can kind of go a little closer, a little farther. But actually, even though holding hand keeps you only at an arm's length distance, it's actually the most freeing of all of them. And this is why. When you're holding their hand, you can feel that you are still with them. And because you can use your sense of touch and feeling, you're actually able to use your eyes and your ears to look around, to move here and there. And if you get too far, you gotta hit the end of your arm, you gotta come back. And it's a really interesting thing that Jesus tells us, like we heard last week from Brian, that we are to remain in him, abide in him. And Jesus told us that we're supposed to do that just like a vine does, that we're supposed to remain in him, just like a plant is connected to its root, to the ground. And so I brought with me a flower, what used to be a flower. You can see it's lost a few of its petals. I have another one here that still has some dried petals on it. It was a rose, and these roses have been dried. And so they're no longer connected. They were plucked, they were cut. I even cut them again and put them into water. Even with plant food, they have still dried out because even though they've constantly were soaked in water, they didn't have any more life in them. They didn't stay connected to their roots, to the ground, to the vine itself. And so they no longer have life, and they're easy just to snap apart because they didn't stay connected to the life. And Jesus tells us to abide in him and remain in him. And you can think of that kind of like holding hands. He tells us that we do that by obeying his commandments, and that we will be the most happy, that will be the most full in life when we're doing those things. And not that Jesus's commands will make it hard for us, but they'll make life better. And so you can think of obeying Jesus' commands, staying close to him, as like holding his hand. It provides the most freedom that you can have. I hope you guys have a good week.